Joining us this morning, Lauren Thomas, CNBC.com retail reporter who has not only closely monitored the story and really broken the story initially, Lauren, about the degree to which they were having to scale back their investment plans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think in many ways what we're seeing today has validated some of that reporting that has come out of the company in recent weeks. So I'm glad you played that clip right before that soundbite from John Foley. I mean, I really think that sums up at the start of this call. He really took responsibility out of the gate, like you said, missteps, and he called this a humbling experience. All in all, as you know, Peloton has had to reset its business coming out of the pandemic. If you take a step back, I mean, you know, Peloton, arguably, it has grown a lot more than the company ever expected pre-COVID. But the mistake that John Foley really made was assuming that these levels of demand would really last, you know, exponentially beyond this point in time, right? And so that's why the company is at this point today where it's having to make these cuts. CFO Jill Woodworth said later on the call that really all aspects of the business are being put under a microscope right now, whether it's marketing. Obviously, there are about 2,800 jobs the company announced this morning that will be cut as well, impacting about 20% of corporate positions. So really all aspects of the business are fair game right now for cuts. Because Peloton really needs to reset. I think Foley, along with the incoming CEO, Foley said that they will be working very closely together through this process. Obviously, I know you guys have been discussing that this morning. That's also grabbed activist Blackwell's attention. They released another statement this morning saying that they don't think that what was announced today will ultimately be enough. So I think time will tell. Obviously, the stock is up, so investors are a bit pleased with some of these initial cost cuts.
Yeah, Lauren, I'm curious, having listened so closely to the call, what do you think has investors so suddenly bullish? Because when these announcements first came out early this morning, or even just the prospect of these announcements, the stock was down. And then over the course of the call and beyond, we've seen it go higher. Is it just short covering, or was there a fundamental basis to something that they said on the call today?
Right. Well, I think what a lot of people are thinking about, and when you see the background, right, of the incoming CEO, I mean, he's been at Spotify, he's been at Netflix. He really knows how to run a subscription business, right? And there was a lot of chatter ahead of these results coming out today just about the fact that the market was really undervaluing Peloton's current subscriber base, right? So that's up to about 2.7 million connected fitness subscribers today. If Peloton were to pivot, which potentially is what it's doing right now, and is focusing more on those existing subscribers than future growth, I mean, think about getting those current subscribers to buy, you know, new products in the future or apparel. You know, Peloton has this apparel business too. Really trying to extract more dollars from that current base, which potentially the company is going to pivot to do. And I think that's kind of what you're reading into a bit when you see this new CEO coming on and his experience running a subscription business. That question actually came up on the call, is just, you know, what does this mean for hardware moving forward? You know, Peloton is drastically going to scale back its production. It's slowing production to meet future demand. But yeah, I think there's a bit of like this bullish sentiment around really leaning in to that current subscriber base more than the company has done in the past, rather than hunting for future growth.